Hey, welcome back to the channel, folks. It's breakfast time. We're going to make us a real good breakfast here. We're going to make chorizo and eggs. So if you've never had that, we'll show you how to do it. Now, Kelly's not home. She'll be home today. But when Kelly's not home, I tend to cook a lot of dishes that she really doesn't care for. So chorizo and eggs is one of those things. She's not a big fan of pork sausage, any kind of pork sausage. So when she's not here, it gives me a chance to make some of the dishes I enjoy. So we're going to make that today. If you've never had chorizo, it's really good. It's a spicy Mexican style pork sausage. And you can make it yourself, and we'll show you, or not show you, but we'll tell you how to make it. It's much better than the store-bought chorizo. The store-bought chorizo, I can't even hardly stand to cook it in my kitchen because it gives off an awful smell, and the texture is really greasy and just not a good experience. So let's get with it. So here's our homemade chorizo that we did when we butchered our hog here on the homestead. We freeze it into these quart vacuum seal bags, and then we smash them out flat. So you really don't even have to thaw it out. This is thawed out, but you could throw that right in a pan, being it's so thin, and it'll start cooking right away and thaw out. So if you've never made chorizo, it's really easy. Get you a pound of ground pork, and you're going to mix in 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, 2 cloves of garlic, just minced or whatever. You can make the conversion to garlic powder too. And 2 tablespoons of vinegar. I like to use a cider vinegar for this, but you can use any type of vinegar, it'd be fine. So you can scale that recipe up as large as you'd like to. So we're going to throw this in the skillet and get it cooking. Got our chorizo in the pan. You can see our sausage this year is fairly lean. There's not a lot of fat in this sausage. So that's good. If you're on a more kind of a healthy diet, you're not going to get as much fat in your diet by cooking this. But you can add a little bit of oil in it if you'd like it. Just a little more oil in it. So as this cooks, we're going to brown this, and then we're going to stir up 6 eggs, which is the amount I like to use for 1 pound of chorizo. Now, a couple tips when you do your eggs. Put yourself a piece of paper towel down on the corner, because you know when you crack eggs, you get a little bit of the liquid, the egg white that comes out. So the paper towel soaks it up, and you don't have to clean as big a mess on the counter. And then always crack them into a smaller bowl in case you have an issue with one of your eggs. You're not contaminating your whole bowl of eggs. That's not a new tip. People have been doing that for years, and it's a good idea. So we'll get these mixed up. And you can see our chorizo here. See the liquid? That's not actually fat. That is the water that we mix our spices with that the recipe calls for. So there's water added to the sausage, and that helps the sausage steam and cook faster. But I like to cook my chorizo until the moisture is just about gone. That way your flavors are more concentrated. They're not diluted by that liquid. And then we'll add our eggs in. Now the water that's added to sausage recipes, you put your dry spices in the water, mix them up, and that helps the spices get further through the meat. It disperses them better into the meat. Now in a chorizo recipe, the vinegar kind of takes the place of the water because there's always a liquid. So instead of the water in the chorizo, you're using the vinegar. Dump your vinegar in your dish, mix your dry spices up with your vinegar, and then mix it with your sausage. As you can see, most of our liquid is now gone. So let's put in our 6 eggs, dump them right into the pan. Remember, this is our favorite pan here. It's kind of a big wok skillet. I even take this pan when we go camping, because when we're group camping with a lot of our friends, love this pan for making scrambled eggs. Works fantastic. You can make like 2 dozen worth of scrambled eggs in here real easy. So we're going to let this set up a little bit. We're not going to go crazy right away with stirring this. And this will come together really quick because we're cooking on high. I switched to my heat-proof spatula because that big wide square spatula wasn't working good on this curved surface. But you're going to cook this to however you like your scrambled eggs. Some people like their scrambled eggs a little bit looser, and some people like them really firm and dry. So cook them to whatever consistency you like. This looks good for me. I like a little bit of moisture, but of course I don't like my eggs runny. And the pan will carry over, so you'll probably need to turn your pan off just a hair early. But that's looking really good for my taste right there. Now some people would eat this just like this with a fork, with some potatoes and some other stuff on a plate, however they like it. Some people would even throw more, like a couple more over easy eggs over the top, where they can get the broken egg yolk down in there. But we're going to have a breakfast burrito, so we'll show you how to put that together. This is done perfectly to our taste. Alright, our tortilla is 20 seconds in the microwave, warms up our flour tortilla. Then I put it on a foil sheet, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Now the key to sour cream, if you don't have it in a squeeze bottle, put your sour cream on first. That way you can spread it without getting stuff all over your spoon. Today's hot tip. So then we're going to go with some of our chorizo and eggs mixture. Put about that much. Line it out here a little bit. We're going to go with some chopped purple onion. You can use white onion, green onion, whatever you want to use. But the nice crunchy onion provides a lot of good texture to that. If I had cilantro, I would put that on there, but we are fresh out of that. So a little shredded. This is a mixture of Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese. And then we're going to hit that with some of our hot sauce. I either use our homemade sauce or Frank's Red Hot is one of my favorites. Now here's where the foil comes into play. We're going to roll our burrito as usual. Hopefully I don't have too much in there to get it done. Sometimes I have that problem. I put more than what the tortilla will hold. It looks like we've done fine. So we've rolled our burrito. We're going to put it in the corner of our foil sheet. And then we're going to roll our burrito up. So we got a nice little tight package there, a little foil package. Now this step may seem silly to you since we're going to eat this fairly quickly. But just like a hot dog at the ballpark, when they go into that foil, the bun gets all nice and steamy and it all comes together. The same thing happens to this tortilla. It's going to get nice and steamy and it's going to kind of glue itself together. So as you're eating it, it's not falling apart and stuff's not coming out all over the place. Give this technique a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So after this cools off, we'll spread this out a little bit here so it cools off faster. Once it reaches room temperature, we'll put this in a container, put it in the fridge, and then I have 2 or 3 days worth of chorizo and eggs. So you could also warm up some more tortillas, roll all this up ahead of time, and then wrap it in zip or cellophane, and then you could just reheat it in the microwave, and make a real fast, quick, and easy breakfast for the next few days. There's our chorizo recipe that we shared with you, so you can screenshot it, print it, do whatever you want to do. All right, folks, we can go eat breakfast now. We're all done. Got our nice little burrito package here. So I hope you try this recipe. This chorizo is far and above what you're going to get at the store. It's not real greasy and it doesn't smell up the house when you cook it. And I think you'll really enjoy it. So till next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us here on Markelly Farm.